For the first time in almost 2 months, shoppers are at a fresh food market in Hubei. With 0 new local infections reported in recent days, the lockdown in the epicenter of the outbreak has eased. Residents can finally leave their homes and even apply to leave the province. But health conditions are strict, and Beijing remains off limits. Wang is looking forward to returning to work in the capital, but expects to stay in Hubei for at least another month.
We can't go back to Beijing yet. There are many of us who live and work in Beijing, but stuck in Hubei for now. But our health is the priority. We absolutely have to listen to the government on this.
With imported infections now the government's main focus, Beijing is tightening restrictions. Historic areas popular with overseas visitors are heavily monitored by police. This part of Beijing is usually full of tourists, but today, as you can see, it's pretty quiet. And behind me, a barrier has been set up, preventing non-residents from entering these small streets. Community volunteers check entry permits and for high temperatures. In the central business district, many employees have returned to work. Checkpoints have been set up at every commercial and residential compound. New arrivals to the city are rigorously questioned. Airport traffic is down 80%, but roughly 8,000 people are still flying into Beijing every day. Locals worry incoming travelers could spark a second wave of infections.
I do worry about these imported cases. Some of my friends and colleagues returned to China recently. It's concerning, but new local cases are under control.
Beijing is a political center. It's understandable that it's getting stricter here now.
All international arrivals must be quarantined at designated hotels for 2 weeks. For many in China, strict measures are a small price to pay for controlling the outbreak. Wang has this advice for those around the world affected by virus lockdowns.
Don't cause trouble for your country. Our countries are like parents fighting for us. We should obey the rules. If we all go out, it's going to be chaotic. So stay home and follow instructions.
For those in Hubei, an evening stroll feels like a hard-won treat. After weeks of being forced to stay indoors, nothing seems so sweet as being able to stop and smell the flowers. Katrina, Al Jazeera, Beijing.